Hey, how's it going, boys? What is up? Source back once again for yet another video. Today we have a Papega video. How to no, I'm just kidding. So today we have kind of like a different video in a way. It's kind of like one of the things that I've been meaning to do, I suppose, for a while now. So this video is more focused towards like what stuff that you may or may not have in the game that you may not notice, because we all can all agree that GBF's UI, in a nutshell, is hot garbage. So navigating around in this game can be a huge pain in the ass, and I guess I'm just here to probably just share the stuff that I know, the stuff that most people should actually know or may not know. That's why I'm just sharing. I'm just trying to help out, right? You may be a relatively new player or old player. We are all still learning new things, because there's some of this stuff that probably just got added in recently. So I was thinking, yeah, why not? It's a good time to do a video like this. First, another thing is that I may not actually include everything in here. This is just kind of like somewhat, might be, kind of like a top of my head kind of thing, or contributed from chat and stuff like that. We were just like discussing about it, and I was thinking, yeah, this is all good stuff, and let's get right into it. Hey, okay, all right. First and foremost, we have the co-op missions. Co-op missions are very, very important for those who doesn't know, because that you can get free, technically somewhat free single roles that really contributed, that will contribute into your spark funds and all that stuff. You can also get a lot of random shit like CPs, rupees, elixirs, blah blah blah, all this shit. It is actually very helpful, and you can always refresh this box. You can always refresh this every time when you complete everything. Yeah. So for those who doesn't know, you can actually fast host your said co-op missions very, very easily whenever they say stuff like this. For example, like if you need to clear a specific stage or whatever, like this one, you just need to click this. You just need to click the picture. Once you click the picture, you can immediately just host the thing, instead of you just checking there and then you have to like click the pages one by one and see where is it or whatever. Now you don't have to do that. You can just click on the picture and it's a done deal. It's very, very simple. So this doesn't apply to like the ones where you need to find like a specific loot or whatever. This one is only towards the ones where they ask you to do like a specific quest, like the ones you see on screen at the moment. Because this two daily is RNG. This one is always the same. This two is RNG. This changes for this changes daily, and it'll always be the same to every single player out there. So if you're planning to do this with a friend or whatever, that's fine too. Another thing that you probably want to know as well when it comes to like this fast host stuff, whenever there's like a campaign raid up or some shit, like right now we have Earth raid up, and if you didn't know, there's like this button in the top right corner here. Like whenever you go into your quest menu, or up here, there's a quest button as well. So if you click here, right, it'll show you all of the raids that has like a boosted rates. Like they have extra blue chest, extra red chest, extra purple chest, or whatever shit. Whenever we have a campaign like this, they will show a little helpful button here that all the raids that got included for this raid up. It is actually advisable to do every single one of these, and it's actually very easy for you to do it by just clicking this play button here. So that's all you need to do. You just click the play button and you just host that thing. It's very, very simple, and it's definitely advisable to do it. And it's also very advisable to do try to get MVP as well, so you can get much more chests, like many more chests along the way. Because like for example, like right now on this day of recording, Alex is somehow very much alive, because everybody is trying to farm this for Guild War and shit. It is kind of dying relatively on the quicker side, so if you're relatively on the weak side, I suggest you to try to aim for MVP before pubbing it to everyone. But I suggest you to not open it too late, because probably a lot of people may not actually bother to join anymore. So yeah. That's my suggestion for that one. So the next one is, for those who didn't know, this was added recently, like within this month. Probably one update was this month, and the other one was like I think late last month. I don't really remember. But basically, we are now allowed to auto refill pots, like whenever we want to say what's that? Go into a quest without, you know, like doing this manually. You know, usually we have to do this, right? We always see this screen, we have to click use every single time, because a lot of times, like when it comes to like what I usually do, I tend to not like do like this. Like I'll just max out my AP immediately based on how much I want to play. I'll just let it slowly like regen, just so that I don't burn like I don't like waste all the time that I'm playing, like, which could be used as regen as well. Yeah, that's why I always use my pots and berries or bombs or whatever one by one. So if you guys didn't know, you can actually go to your settings. You can go to under miscellaneous and scroll all the way to the bottom. You can see this EP, AP, and EP auto restore settings. All you can do is that you can just click auto reserve, and then you can also set up like whether you want to only use half elixirs only, or you want to use both and stuff like that. So for me, I prefer to only use half pots, so I set it as that. Same goes for this. So yeah, you can use that, set it as that. And the other special thing that was added quite recently is that they allow us to hide the notifications. So it's like the moment that we want to burn, like we do not have enough AP to host like a specific raid or whatnot. I don't think I can show now because I just restored some earlier. Let me burn my AP real quick so I can somewhat show. Alright, so for example, if you want to like host something and you do not have enough AP, right? So if you enable all of that I mentioned earlier, if you hide everything, it's actually really helpful. This is so good. What it allows you is that if you do not have enough AP, like say for example, like you want to host Akasha or something, I do not have enough AP, right? Because I'm at 78 right now. So if I just click play and I just click play, yes, I press OK, what immediately happens is that you automatically restore, and because I select hide the notifications, it will immediately go into the refresh, I mean the summons selection page. So yes. So fast! Oh my god! So this is a really good update for, like, I would say everyone out there, especially the ones that has really on the lower side of things, like the lower latency. I mean a higher latency, sorry. Like it loads so much slower and stuff. This is really helpful for a lot of people. Alright, so I do get this question quite a bit as well. Where like what Raidfinder I use, or anyone's wondering what Raidfinder is actually a very helpful thing where it allows us to find like specific, because if you didn't know, this raid page is all random. They're all either random or you can see the ones that is shared from the crew. So in order for you to find the specific raid that you want, so you can just enter the ID or whatever, you probably will not see this page if you're banned or something. So so if you want to know where you can find this, is usually you can just Google Raidfinder. It's very simple. But if you want to like a somewhat proper ones, like one of the ones that I use that is very helpful, if you do come into my chat, you can always just type !Raidfinder. It should give you the command that allows you to get that link that I have. But for anyone's wondering, I am okay. So let me just show you. This is the website that I use, which is called gbf.live. Alright, so this is the web page that I use, gbf.live. What it does is, what it does is that it will never show, compared to like the original Raidfinder, you tend to use like Hero U app cap, whatever the fucking thing is called. So the main difference is that it will never show duplicate codes. It'll only show different codes no matter what. You can actually set it to that. Like you can just change the settings at the bottom. Where's the bottom? Yeah, there's the bottom. Yeah. So you can actually enable this one, like you want to show all the duplicate ones, but I really don't see why you should enable that. Just leave it to default and you should be just fine. So this one is very handy because yeah, you can just only get the specific one, and it's much easier to use anyway. So like you can only set like a specific amount, as you can see here. Like I cannot add any more. This is the maximum you can add for like the amount of raids. This one is very, very simple. So if you want to use it, right, you'll see this thing here. You see this page here, and all you need to do is click on this search button here on the top here. Just click on it. It'll show you all the lists of the raids, and you can just filter it by like you'll just go it to like this as well if you want, or if not, you can just, you know, like Tiamat. Yeah, you could just search like that if you want to, and then you just select it and bam, it just appears, right? See, so simple. And the other cool thing about this is that you know, especially for like the ones that is relatively fast, oops. So like say for example like Akasha 4 Primarchs or whatever, those are relatively quick, right? So it appears very fast, right? Sometimes you have, oh no, I can't click properly or some shit like that, right? What you can actually do is like you just click on this very handy button here, this copy the latest, which essentially copies the ones that you did not click yet. So like you always click on the top, but you won't click the ones that you selected. So like here, right, you'll click on top, and then you click on top, and click, 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 click. See, you always click the ones on top. It's very handy. You just need to click on this button. It's very, very handy. So yeah, I just find this Raidfinder really, really helpful. Yeah. So that's very cool Raidfinder. I'll probably leave that a link. I'll probably just leave the link in the description as well for anyone's wondering. So yeah, this is the one that I use. So this one is the one that probably has been asked very, very often. Like for example, how do you skip multiple stages? Why are you refreshing so much? Why are you doing this and that in the game? Whatever, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can for all this shit, okay? So first is the how do you skip multiple wave stages? So one prime example is obviously Injure Halo. So how do you skip this? It's very, very simple. Okay, try to keep it as short as possible. You just need to press the fucking back button. Yep, just press attack, press the back button, done. And if you have like a mouse, because if you're playing this on PC or whatever, on like browser or whatever, if you have like mouse 4 and mouse 5 on your mouse button here, you can just press the back button. Just press attack, press back, done. Don't press too fast because this will happen. Whenever this happens, just press refresh. Wow! Sugoi! Alright, so that's how you do it. So if you want to skip this for like story based, right, it's a little bit different, but it's not that hard. So I can't really like properly show you now because I don't really have anything right now to actually somewhat show you with. One of the things that you want to do, right, whenever like say for example like there's an event or whatever, right, there is, alright, so for example like this one, right, so if I skip here, so if I skip, it only show one stage right now, but yeah. So if there's a multiple waves in like story quests like this, right, all you need to do is press back twice. So you press once, right? Okay, this will take a while, but like yeah, you need to press the button twice in order for you to go back to the same page and allows you to skip one stage forward. That's all you need to do. You just need to press skip twice, okay? I can't really show it now because I don't really remember where the fuck is the damn thing. But yeah, all you need to do is just press skip twice. It's that simple. This one, refreshing. Okay. Alright, so why do we refresh in the first place? It's a very, very simple method to allow us to bypass massive animations. They may look cool, but they waste a lot of time, especially when there are people trying to, you know, speed run to get like a specific honor to get your blue boxes or whatnot. That one can really, really screw you up if you're just watching the animations ever so slowly, especially if you enable like full animations, all that stuff. So one thing I probably want to like somewhat let you guys know when it comes to like refreshing, right? There's like specific spots that is actually pretty good when you want to refresh. So like say for example, if I were to you know what, let's do it live. Let's just do a random fucking Akasha right now. Let's go a slightly more empty one. Why is nobody hosting? Alright, there. Alright. So like very clear examples, like, you know, a lot of times where you just click and all this, right? If you want to refresh, right? There's a lot of times where you refresh. You can actually refresh the moment the skill icon queue disappears. Like you can just refresh immediately and your next action will already take place. So like let me show you again. It's kind of hard to see because I'm actually racing with these motherfuckers now, and there's still people in here, and it's going relatively fast right now. So the moment that thing went off, right? You can I'll just put a slow-mo later or some shit. See, this thing goes up, you refresh, it will take place already. The thing went off, refresh, my conjunction has already taken place. If you didn't know, you can actually do that. Especially when it comes to like, you want to bypass a lot of like really, really long skill animation stuff. Yeah, you can do all that. And as you can see, if you don't refresh your animations like Ogis or whatever, it can be really, really slow. Meanwhile, if you refresh, it skips everything. But you have to remember that when you refresh, right, there's a thing called lockout. Alright? There's a thing called lockout where what the game essentially does is that they will have like a pre-made timer for like whatever actions that you did. So for example, like say how many people that Ogis, how many people triple attacks, double attacks and stuff like that. They will take those in account and they'll pre-make like a specific timer on how long your lockout is going to be. But the difference between that lockout is also really dependent on your latency. The lower your latency, that lockout isn't as like as annoying. Because sometimes the lockout can be really, really long. But if your latency is so fucking high, you probably don't really notice any of that. Because you're already waiting so long anyway, that's why. So yeah, that's one of the main examples I would say when it comes to like refreshing, when is a good time to refresh and stuff like that. But most of the time I just refresh every single buttons I press, like especially when I know the action is going to have really, really long animations. You know, like for example, like earlier conjunction is actually quite long, but because my latency is relatively decent, I can still be slightly faster whenever I refresh my conjunction and stuff in specific order. So it helps. Yeah, it helps. And along those lines, I also want to emphasize on live updates. A lot of people may or may not know about this, but like, I really, really prefer to play without this live battle feed thing enabled. Because what this happens is that the moment if you display this, right, if you enable live update, what essentially happens, like whatever that happens in the raid will be happening live, right? Like without you even pressing anything, it will be happening live. And that can actually be somewhat annoying when it comes to like when you want to farm like blue chests and stuff in like, say for example, like the one I did Akasha earlier. One of the main reasons why is that if you disable this, if you guys didn't know, I'll give you another example, I guess. Let's do another Akasha. If you disable the live update, right, whatever happens in the game, it will only update the moment you press one button. Any button you press, it will update. So anything right now that happens is still ongoing, but it will not update for you until you press the button. See, like that. The overdrive button will only occur if you press the button. So this way is actually really good when you know, especially like, okay, see, like this is a good example right now. This motherfucker has a phase change at 75. He's probably 75 by now because I am fucking slow right now. But because I disable live update, it will never happen until I press the button. But you see, the really good thing about this is that if I press my tag team will occur along with the phase change. So if I refresh all this, I can skip this entire portion, which saves a lot of time. Bam! See, it skips to 66%, right? See, it skips the entire thing. You do your action, you skip the face animation. This thing is really, really fucking helpful. That's one of the main... Oops, why I refreshed that part. For that part, I have no idea. But it's really, really helpful. So yeah, that's... So like, same like this. It's probably 50 already. It's actually not 50 yet. Wow, okay. Is it 50 now? Okay, now it's 50, right? So yeah, refresh. So yeah, you bypass the stupid face animation thing. Because it can be really, really annoying, right? For some of the animations that the bosses do. It can be very, very annoyingly long. So this is really, really helpful. Like, if you know when it's gonna happen, you just really need to pay close attention to the portrait here. So the moment you click a button, if the portrait like blinks, like a little semi-blink, there's just a quick shift, you know that the face change. It applies to every single boss in the game. Whenever they have like a specific face animation, like say for example even Magna 2, they have a face animation change at 50%. The moment you bypass 50%, you'll always see a little blink. Like that. You see, it changes picture or some shit like that. So you can bypass the entire thing if you just refresh. That's one of the main reasons why refreshing is like the fucking key into playing these games. Like, that's why most of the time if you actually like, if you see a endgame player playing anything, like especially when he's manualing, you always see a black screen. That's why most of the time we just joke around, because since we are always refreshing, right, you always see this stupid now loading screen. Because we are just refreshing everything. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I prefer to play in without live update. Because if you have live update enabled, right, that thing will always be going. So sometimes when somebody has already hit past towards like the phase changes, like in Akasha for example, even though you press like a specific button or whatever, your skill will not take an effect. His face animation will take in effect first. That's why when it comes to like racing in like fast raids or whatever and stuff like this, disabling live update is very, very helpful. Especially in like, you know, when you want to do like trains or whatnot as well too. That's probably going to be like another good example. Another thing I wanted to add on for this is that a lot of people may or may not use as well, because I don't know, I think maybe they're afraid or some shit. Like, if you didn't know, if you want a fast, like, rejoin, like, a specific raid, like, say, for example, if you want to join, like, oops, I didn't remove this yet. Like, if you want to join a train, right? Like, yeah, this Ultimate Baja, for example, right? If you want to do this train, it's a very good idea to set bookmarks. So, if you didn't know, you could actually set bookmarks in this game, because this game is, you have to remember, is a browser game. You can actually set bookmarks. So, for example, like, if you want to go back to this, like, this page or whatever immediately, the moment, like, say, for example, like, you know, like earlier when I was done with a raid or whatever, I can immediately set a bookmark and click that bookmark and it goes straight to this page, so I can immediately click an idea and go again, you know? For example, that can be very, very helpful, especially when it comes to trains, because trains goes by really, really quick. A lot of times, if your latency is really bad and they'll just outright kick you after like 10 seconds or some shit on it, because you never host in time or whatever, that can be a pain in the ass. So like a lot of times, it's a lot better the moment you see, like, the moment you have this page right now showing, right? You can just hit your blue bookmark button that you saved earlier. Like, if you're planning to use this on a train, right, you should only save, like, you should bookmark the page where is the co-op page. You should bookmark the co-op page, so you immediately go back. So when you see this, you don't have to like click this, you know, wait for the thing to load and click this again, then only go back to the co-op page. You could actually use bookmarks to go straight to the co-op page, and it'll immediately just reload whenever, you know, whenever someone else press start or some shit. It's very, very helpful to have bookmarks. I do not use bookmarks at all because of the way I set up my stream to be. It's much easier for me to just not use it altogether because, yeah, it's the way I set up my stream. So I never use bookmarks at all. But you can actually use bookmarks, and it's very, very helpful to use bookmarks if you want to speed up your farming just like quite a bit. Yeah, it's really, really helpful. Along these lines, there's one more thing I probably want to add on to this specific one. Is when it comes to like the you know, like you want to skip like the full auto, not full auto, sorry, you want to skip like the multiple stages or whatever. If you guys didn't know, full auto actually allows you to press the button a lot faster. What do I mean by that is like if you go to your ops settings, right, and if you go under quests and go all the way at the bottom, you have this pre-battle auto attack thing. If you enable one touch, right, what this essentially does, it will automatically press the orange button, or if not, if you set full auto, it will do all like the full auto shit the moment you press the thing during your loading screen. This one is specifically helpful because it will always press that button much faster. So like for example, Angel Halo is like another perfect example for this. So if you want to just do Angel Halo, you can just click this. It will press the orange button a lot faster for you. It's only like a small amount though. It's still slightly faster, but it's, yeah, much better, if anyone's wondering. So not a lot of people may actually know this yet, but this was one of the additions they added recently, where they allow us to limit break things multiple at a time. So say for example this one, I want to full limit break this or whatever. I can just do this. I can select whichever one that I want to use as like a copy, and then if I want to full limit break it, I can click this again, and then click on the confirm button. I'm not going to do that now because I'm just showing it to you guys. But yeah, you can actually do this. But there's a few special cases where you can't do this. Like for example, if you want to do like 6-star Juten's Transcendence or whatever, they don't allow you to do that for those. So that's one of the few examples, okay? But yeah, you can actually do this, and you can actually just go backwards and stuff like that, yeah. So you can either do once at a time, it just shows you here. But the other thing that probably a lot of people may not notice is that you can fast limit break your rusted weapons, especially if you've already done several like halos and stuff. It's very, very simple. You just need to go to your inventory, click on unload, and you see this wonderful button here. You can move all of your rusted weapons into your stash if you're like no space or whatever. So like for example, like here I have one, right? See, it just automatically does that. It just moves every single one in there. And you could also, if you didn't notice that same button, you could also limit break multiple rusted weapons at a time by using this button. Right now I do not have any, but you could actually limit break all of it. Not all of it, I think like a specific amount. I don't remember how many. I think like 20 as usual. Yeah, you can only do that many because that's how this game tends to be. They always tends to limit like 20 of some shit. But it's very, very simple though. If you have like a fuckload of rusted weapons to uncap, it's actually very, very simple. Let's say you already like in this page, right, and then you click raise uncap. All you need to do, like what I mentioned earlier, you press back and then you press forward. This time you press forward and you go back to this page. What it will do, it will reconfigure the same thing again without you pressing that said button, unload button at the bottom. So if you have like hundreds and hundreds of rusted weapons to uncap, you just need to press once, like here, go here, press once, and then press back, and then you press forward again, and press again. So you just go back, forward, press, back, forward, press. So it's much, much simpler than you going, like after you click that, you come back here, and then you just need to like do this again. Yeah, it's quite troublesome. So if you have like a mouse 4 and 5 on your mouse, is very, very helpful. Especially if you're playing it on PC. That's why this game is better off playing it on PC anyway. So speaking of like crates and stuff like that, right? If you guys didn't know, like a lot of people probably still may be wondering like why am I not clearing my crate or whatnot, like my present box or inbox, whatever shit you call this thing. Like why is this always filled with a fuckload of them? It's actually very, very simple. This thing has no limit. Most of like your gacha, everything will have no limit. Most of your gacha stuff will have no limit. Unless it actually mentions there's a time limit, like under this tab, then you should pick it up. If it's mostly on this side, technically there's no reason for you to pick it up, because what essentially this does is acting as like a pseudo black hole of a storage device for you. You do not need to grab every single one of these. You do not. These can be your really, really good storage. Instead of you, if you like, for example, if you didn't buy all of this storage or whatever, you can actually use all your gacha stuff. You can just leave it in here. You can just leave it in here until you really need them. Until you really need them. Say like, for example, if I need like I'm gonna borrow my Naru's weapon right now, right? Yeah, then I can just go grab it right now or some shit, right? I forgot it's yeah, it's not a katana. So yeah, I can just go grab it right now, right? It's just as simple as that. Because we have like our filter system, it makes things slightly easier now to check out which weapon and stuff like that, right? So that's why leaving it in your no limit crate is very, very handy, because you can save a lot of space. Because can you imagine, I have 7,000 plus, right? I actually have a lot of shit. So let's just say SSR as well, right? I have 473 here. Yeah, there's no way I can fit in all of this right now, right? Plus there's some like SR shit I do want to keep as well, right? So there's really not much space I could fit them all in here. Because if I actually do fit them all in here, what's gonna happen in later on, right? Like all of a sudden I have like more shit I want to collect, you know? Like say, for example, I want to collect more of this, you know, because, you know, like the 6 stars bullshit and stuff like that. I have to keep so many of this. Later on I have like no space or whatever. That's why I'd rather just keep all the gacha items in here without actually having any worries of them disappearing. So that's one of the things that you can probably do in order for you to save time. I mean save space, not time, sorry. Alright, here's the other one that I think a lot of people may or may not notice as well. This was a mechanic or a function that was added in recently. Not too long ago. I was very certain they added in like around this year or some shit, which is the whole plus marks change to plus marks. For those who doesn't know, plus marks, if you want to check how or where they are at whenever you put in your weapons, characters, summons or whatnot, you can just click on this and you can see every single one where you placed it. Say like my weapons, I placed it on here, my Akasha team or whatever, and you can also see like all the characters that I put it on. You can see it all here. Same goes for summons. But if you want to fast transfer, like say for example, right? Like right now I'm using my like say for example I want to move it to my light team, right? Because my light team has like no plus marks or whatever. So if I want to move that, it's actually very, very simple. All you need to do, right, if you just go back to this page, you just need to click on all this, whatever weapons you have. What it essentially does, it will put all of these plus marks into your plus mark stock. So if you just do this, see, this is what it does. It has 990 plus marks in here. It will go in here. So what it does, it will just go in there and see, now I have nothing. But if you want to fast transfer everything into this, you just need to click on this plus marks. Make sure you click on the weapons, by the way. when you're under the weapons tab, all you need to do is just click this plus marks. Add plus marks. Bam. Wow, so easy. Now you don't have to wait for your crewmates or whatever shit. You know, it's like, oh man, BRB, I'm gonna change plus marks, man. Oh man, that used to take like fucking forever, man. Yeah, before this, like you have to switch the plus marks one by one or everything. So same goes for characters. You want to add plus marks to your characters is also very simple. Like you don't have any of these, you just go to that specific character you want to add into. Just click plus marks, and then you just add 69. Wait, there's no 69 now. Shit. All right, well. But yeah, that's how you do it. You just click on individual characters that you want to add plus marks in particular, and you can just add them quickly just like that. But then again, if you didn't know, a lot of times, if you're wondering, plus marks on characters are capped at 300. Weapons and summons are capped at 99. And if you're wondering what they do for plus marks, what they do is they add the raw HP and attack stat to the said thing. So same goes for like characters and summons and weapons. So like what plus marks do, it just adds them directly. So like right now you can see this, right? It's kind of hard to show right now. I need to pick an empty character. It adds like 2 HP or 5 attack or something like that. Where's the empty one? Like this one. So you can just do this, add 1. Yeah, 1 HP and 2 attack. Okay, that's what it does for characters. So they just adds like raw HP and attack stat. So this is all unboosted. That's why plus marks can actually be a very important factor when it comes to a lot of your said grid building, progression and whatnot. In order for you to get yourself stronger, plus marks does make quite a bit of difference. If you think a character is like on the weaker side, you can just put like plus marks into that character. But honestly, before you actually think about that, it's usually better off just putting plus marks to your entire weapon grid first. Let me remove this first. Oh yeah, if you want to remove this, just click on the right button instead. It's just that simple. Okay, so in order for you, before you even consider anything, you should really max this out first. One of the main reasons why I say that is because putting plus marks into your weapons essentially adds everything into your weapons, which means it will also applies to all of your characters. So if you put plus marks on characters, what that happens is that you get the bonus from here on top of the bonus they get from the characters as well. So that's why if you have a lot of plus marks, it's very helpful that you put them on your grid and the characters themselves. You don't really have to follow me. I just like my meme putting 69 on everyone. Well, most of everyone. But yeah, you could just max them out and just put like 300 on a said character or whatnot. So yeah, it's very helpful. So this next one is, I'm not sure if a lot of you actually know, but if you didn't know, if you progress through the game, like if you go through like different, you see there's so many islands and stuff. If you didn't know, each and every single one of these islands, right, has a special item in them. Every single one of these. Go different Skydoms, all of them have one. I think there's one special one that doesn't have it. I don't remember, but most of them have them. 99% of the islands have them, okay? So if you didn't know what am I talking about, if you go to your main page, right, you see your waifu or whatever. But there's one little button called town here, if you didn't notice. So what this does, it'll just give you to some random shit here that allows you to randomly click. But there's one more very important thing if you didn't know. If you go in a very specific order when you click all this in a specific special order, you will get an extra bonus item. And if you do not know how do you get all of these codes or combinations, it's very simple. All you need to do is go to Wiki. Just go to Wiki and you see all this things here. So like say for example, which island was I in? This one. So all you need to go is to this, scroll all the way down, and then you see this thing. By clicking on the sparkles in the following order, you see you can get a free ticket here. So they give you this thing here, you just need to click it in the specific order and you get extra loot. And this applies to every single island. Majority of the island. Yeah, like I said, 99% of the islands in the game. So if you're still starting out and you haven't unlocked every single island, and you've already did, make sure you check this portion of the game. Just click on the town. If you have not checked it yet, if you have not clicked it before, it should be in orange. This one's in blue right now, but it should be in orange if you haven't clicked it yet. This next one is there's a lot of things you can actually check in this game if you didn't realize. As like, for example, there's a favorite tab here. So you can actually save favorite quests here. But most of the time, it's not really necessary. Only like specific ones. Say, for example, if you want a slime and whatnot. Like, same goes for like trials or whatnot. Those ones are a little bit of a hassle to get into because you need to go into special. And then go into like this manually. So it's quite annoying to go through all these windows, right? So you can... Oops. So you can actually save them as favorites and you can just click through here. In order for you to do that, it's actually very simple. You can click on any given quest here. Any one. Oops. And if we want to do it, you just need to click on the on this portrait. Just click on the portrait. You can select as favorite. Just check as favorite and it should appear there. And also you could also check what drops does the raid have or whatnot, if you didn't know that yet. But if you really want to check like proper drop rates and whatever, you can always just go to the wiki and go look for the set rate and it will show you everything. It's much better to check it there anyway. But yeah, you can set favorites for like NJ Halo and stuff, so it makes things a lot easier. And if you're trying to farm for like a specific thing, like you know, like NJ Halo, you want to farm like prisons, walls and shit like you see at the bottom of the screen. If you're wondering how to set this stuff at the bottom of the screen, it's actually also very, very simple. All you need to do is just go to your whatever item that appears. See, for example, even here, right? All you need to do is click on the item and you should see this favorite here. So what it does is that you just click a favorite. It will ask you to set like a specific amount that you know, just so you can set as an indicator. If you didn't know, this indicator is only maxed out at 3 nines. You cannot go to 1000. It's maxed out at 3 nines. If you set like 10,000, it's only at 3 nines. But if you want to see more than 3 nines, you must not. You just leave this part empty. And then you can just see it at the bottom. So FYI, this applies to every single item. So like, oops, if you go to supplies, say like, yeah, this one for example, yeah, you can just click on favorite, blah. Ta-da! This is right there. So this is a very handy tool if you want to like keep track of like a specific material that you want to you're farming for. You can save up to, I think, up to 9? Or is it 12 items? I honestly forgot how many items you can set. But you can set quite a few, and then it allows you to like just drag, you see? It just allows you to drag the thing. So, or you can just click the arrow button there or some shit, yes. Or, if I recall correctly, wait, let me just try. If I recall correctly, you can actually use the arrow keys on your keyboard as well to do it. Ah, yes, it does. If you press the arrow keys on your keyboard, it will work as well. See, you can do that. Wow. No! I don't have to click! Oh shit! Yeah, so good, right? Okay. Alright, so when it comes to like all this loot, right? There's one thing they also added recently. There is both missions. Missions that is there forever. Weekly missions and monthly missions. Especially in Skyscope. It is recommended to at least do your weekly missions. It's because that if you do complete your weekly missions, you can get quite a bit of extra crystals, rank points, like lots of goodies and shit. And that can be a little bit annoying to do because you need to do like, I think 50 special quests, which is like Angel Halo stuff, 50 raids, like join other people or you host your own, like 50 raids, and then like you have to do you have to use 7 Akaram tickets, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, you have to like do all this annoying stuff, but it is actually recommended to do it because you get a lot of stuff back. It is actually really recommended to do them. Same goes for this new thing they added recently, which is they call the fucking Skyleap bullshit. So in order for you to access this Skyleap thing, first you need to get Skyleap, of course, but in order for you to just check the page, you just need to go to shop. At the bottom here, you see this Skyleap point shop. So this Skyleap thing is actually really good in a way because it has a lot of miscellaneous materials here that you can actually just exchange it for. Or especially if you're starting out, right? You can exchange for all this CP. You can use it to unlock all of your classes. Or you know, like the 6-star Jutens and stuff. This too is actually quite useful if you do not have enough yet. Because you know, Jutens now, if you want to get them to 120, is like you need fucking 5 million rupees or whatever. But if you have already been sliming a lot and gotten a lot of rupees, I think that doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, Skyleap is pretty nice because the first time around, you're able to get an SSR ticket. A guaranteed SSR ticket, which costs like 10,000 points or something like that. So it's actually very simple to get this. In order for you to get this to work, all you need to do is probably you can just use it either on your phone or emulator or whatnot. And in order for you to get Skyleap, it's actually very simple. You can just get like under Cool app or something, because you know you probably do that for every other mobile game that you use when it comes to like if you're using on Android or whatnot. You can just download it through that, get a Skyleap installed or whatever, and then yeah, in order for you to get points, you need to only do normal standard raids, like anything under this tab here. Anything in this tab are the ones that only take in account for Skyleap. And here's another tip for you guys, especially if you really hate playing on the phones. It's actually okay to play on your PC, but what you should do is that when you clear like a set, before you clear the set raid, do not hit next into the reward screen. You know, like the one like I showed you earlier, you know, the reward screen or some shit like that. Do not go into the reward screen. What you do is you whip up your phone, go into Skyleap with that, and go to the reward screen with your Skyleap app. And that should take in account. It will automatically add or give you points into your Skyleap. You can see it here. It will only add points to you in the following day. It will not show you on the spot. It will only show you here how much you earned on that day itself. It will not show you how much you have here. The amount of points you have here will only show the following day, like after reset, which is at 5 AM Japan Standard Time. For those who didn't know, if you just started or whatnot, right? If you just started, they have this very handy thing in the game that shows you the element thingy right here. Like which one is weak against and whatnot. So like this one is Earth is weak against wind, where Earth is strong against water, for example, stuff like this. But if you didn't know, you can actually disable this, so you can have your full auto button to replace this instead. In order for you to do that, you just need to go under the screen and disable this. Yeah, it's quite handy to turn that off though, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much for me, because most of the time I'm playing manual anyway. So it doesn't really matter too much. But like a lot of times when it comes to like the full auto stuff, I usually tend to apply it in what's that? You know, like the one you know when you refresh, you see this thing, like it's like the one I mentioned earlier. So you can actually set like preset to like every single one of raids, whether for it to be either semi or full auto. But for me, I set it to semi. So it's like if you want it to like if you want specific raids to be full auto or semi auto, you can just set them accordingly, and then it should be safe like that forever. Yeah, it should be safe like that forever, and I think that should also apply to like V2 as well. Yeah, that should be applied to V2 as well. Like if you know you have like the auto guard stuff there or some shit like that. Yeah, but like to me, this is more like a preference shit, so it doesn't really matter too much. Because if I really want a full auto, I'll just do that. So like say for example, like you know what? Let me just show you guys. So if I want a full auto, like I said earlier, you just go to under quests, your settings and quests. You put under one touch. And then I just go to a quest. And say for example, like, yeah, this one. Whatever. So I just select. And then I just click like that. And it's full auto. That's what I usually prefer to do. This is more like a preference thing. You can actually change it so you can actually disable that button like I said earlier, and you can just click full auto button in that page itself. To me, it doesn't really matter because it's more or less the same anyway. Instead, you know, just refresh and shit like that. Man, full auto with Sarasa sucks, dude. But yeah, anyways, that's all I can share for now. Before actually extending this video to be too damn long. So there's like a lot more. I can't emphasize this, there's a lot more stuff out there that I probably didn't share today. So there are a lot of stuff. If you guys find like there's any other shit to be like mentioned or whatnot, you can always share it in the comment section. You know, we're just here to help each other out. We're not here to like fuck everyone up. We're just helping each other up, right? It's just as simple as that. So just let everyone know in the comments if you think I didn't mention any of the stuff here, because I'm very certain there's a lot of shit I haven't mentioned yet. I don't really want to prolong this video any much longer. So yeah, that's all I'm sharing with you right now. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video or find this video helpful in any way, shape or form. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, share to your friends or whoever. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And watch Sarasa kill off this boss, and then I'll just end this then. Watch Sarasa kill it off. Oh, not enough. Oh, she didn't do enough damage. Oh well, whatever. Cool damage either way, right? Good character. But yeah, see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Still dead anyway though.